With today's beginner's guide for Ultimate Alliance 3, there will actually be 25 of them that we've now covered. Now as we get towards the last remaining characters, these are characters that I'm quite undecided on, or they just haven't clicked for me, or I'm not sure if I'm missing something, and that's the reason I've left them till later on, so I can get more playtime on them and see if they actually click. But Iron Man's a character I'm still not entirely sold on either way, to be honest. But in this video, to give you an overview of how he plays, we start off by looking at his stats and a quick look at his abilities. We then follow that up with a deep dive into his abilities. We will look at them in more detail. We then have the team bonuses. Next up it's the Synergy Attack Guide. We'll then look at the build options available in the best ISO 8. We'll then check out his alternative costume, which looks really nice, and then we'll finish up with a quick summary. So we'll start off here with the overview and the stats. When we look at Iron Man's abilities, they are a mixture of melee and ranged, and I think that's possibly the reason he's not clicking for me. Another character who's melee and ranged was Captain Marvel, and there was just something that just didn't sit right with me when I was playing, and I do feel slightly the same as when I'm playing Iron Man as well, so I think it could be just my own personal preference that I prefer characters to be all out melee or all out ranged, one or the other, as opposed to a hybrid setup. Now before we look at the abilities anyway, his light and his basic have got relatively short range in them. The light attack is just your melee attack, the basic is a repulsor blast attack, but the range isn't the longest on it. If you hold down the block button when you cast it, it will actually speed up the animation, so make sure you do that if you're using heavy. His abilities, 3 of them have the energy tag, one of them has the melee tag, so it means you can't push out damage as much as we would like when it comes to your ISO 8. Hero trait is flight, which of course is a useful one, good for getting through Infinity Trials you need to complete in a set amount of time. When we look at his stats, these almost sum him up for me. The stats are very average, and unfortunately that's how I feel when I play Iron Man. I feel he's a very average character. So his strength is C, vitality is C, mastery is C, resilience is B, durability is C, and energy is B. So it's almost C's all the way across the board there, just with the exception of resilience. But that's the overview. Let's now have a look at his abilities. The first ability we look at here for Iron Man is probably his most iconic ability, and you unlock this straight off the bat. So this is Unibeam. You hold this down and you get the large beam, and you can actually change the direction that it goes. Nice for taking out trash. It can do nice damage against single targets as well. It is a decent skill, but with the recent inclusion of Cyclops, who has a very similar skill that uses a lot less energy and he can actually move while casting it, it makes this one feel a little bit underwhelming if you played Cyclops and then you move back to Iron Man. The next ability we have here is Repulsor Array. So this is the movie actually done at the end of Iron Man 2 when Iron Man and War Machine are taking on all the hammer bots, and War Machine has to duck and Iron Man fires this off and destroys them all. And this move was actually the special, I believe, for Iron Man and Marvel Heroes Omega as well. So it's nice to see the move being included in the game. It is just your standard trash clearing skill, and like many characters that have a lot of range moves in their kit, generally they have one that can be useful for taking out lots of minions that are maybe surrounding them, and that's exactly what this move is for. You'll save it until you're surrounded by trash and you need to quickly take them out. The next ability we have is your dash move, which pulls down the stagger bar, a move we see on a whole lot of characters. So this particular one is called Thruster Charge. You can see the stagger rating is up at A, damage is down at C, so you'll use this one to break the stagger gauge on an elite or a boss if you're going up against them, and then you'll follow up with the likes of Unibeam to then start to strip their health down. The final ability we look at here then is Missile Barrage. This is another trash clearing skill, and this one is more of a ranged one. So the repulsor array you'll use if you're surrounded by trash. If you got trash away in the distance, then you would use Missile Barrage, and your Thruster Charge and your Unibeam are really reserved for bosses. So that's all his abilities. Let's now have a look at the team bonus. For the team bonuses, we have the new setup here where we list all the different teams that the character appears in, and then we look for duplication in those teams so you can get higher stat bonuses by running that particular character with the other ones. Now if you preferred the old format, which came from a spreadsheet which has got a whole lot of numbers in it, There's a link to that in the description below, so you can certainly still check that out. But for today's video, we look at the teams available for Cap. So it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Original Avengers, Avengers, Big Brains, Team Leaders and Heavy Metal. The characters that appear more often across these teams, meaning you can do well bonus wise, it's Captain America and Hulk. They both appear in 3 different teams, and then you can see we've got quite a few different characters that appear in 2 different teams as well. So that's the team bonuses. Let's now have a look at the synergies. For the synergy attacks available, Iron Man's in the bottom 10 characters in the game. This is largely due to the fact that the charge and burst synergy trait don't actually proc a great deal of synergy attacks. The most useful one you will use on him will be Beam, which in turn you can change to reflect with a character like Captain America or Colossus. That can be a really nice combination there. Now, the top 5 characters that he synergizes well with anyway, or he synergizes great with because they are the top 5. You've got Star-Lord, Crystal, Ghost Rider, Hawkeye and also Loki. The bottom 5 characters for synergies, so these are the ones you want to avoid if you're doing a Infinity Trial. You need to get a set amount of synergy damage. So this is Falcon, Hulk, Spider-Man, Thanos and once again Scarlet Witch way down at the bottom there. Really hoping she does get a rework. But that's all the synergy attacks and the characters that he synergizes well with and the ones he doesn't synergize as well with. So let's now have a look at the build option that's available. Build option wise then, I would say you've got 2 choices with Iron Man. The first one, you can go for hybrid damage, and this is for players that like to use his light attack as well as the dash move to break stagger gauges. So this particular build, ISO wise, you want to put on the increased damage done to enemies by 16.5, increased crit chance by 8.0. That's because your attacks will be energy and melee, so that way they're all getting a damage boost. If you want to play a more ranged Iron Man, one that probably focuses more on Unibeam and using the heavy attack because that has the energy tag, then you would go for the ranged energy damage build. So with this one, you increase damage of energy attacks by 19.2, so you can see that goes a few percent higher than your flat damage, so you're getting more damage pushed out there. Also, you want to increase the crit hit chance of energy attacks by 11.1. that will be important because you won't be staggering characters as much, so it is important you get your crits in there. Until you get these, because they are the optimal ISO to run on them, you can get by using increased mastery by 13.7. You can also use the increased damage as well, the flat one for 16.5. Also with this setup, because you want to stay at range, you don't want to often go into melee distance to use your light or your heavy to actually build up your energy. You could do with place and increase energy by 1100. This is better than the one that increases it by 9.8 due to his average energy pool, and also increase energy regeneration by 19.3. That setup would allow you to play at range, and you should be doing pretty decent damage as well because you can get nice damage numbers when you use the energy ISO. So that's the build options available. Let's look at the alternative costume. The alternative costume for Iron Man then at the moment is just a simple recolouring, but it does look great. I believe with the recolouring this is supposed to be his Mark 42 armour, which is a really nice looking one. This is unlocked via getting 51 out of 51 stars in the site Infinity Rift, so it is a bit tricky to get, but I would say it's definitely worthwhile if you are running Iron Man. In time I would hopefully like to see the likes of the Hulkbuster costume with potentially the option of having additional melee abilities there. I'd be exceptionally happy if that was ever the case, but let me know in the comments below what costume you would like to see for him, and let's now finish up with a quick summary. As we mentioned earlier on in the video, then Iron Man is a character that it's taken me so long to do this beginner's guide just due to the fact that he's never really clicked for me, and that's in no way to say that I feel he's a good or a bad character. He's just one that I just can't get a feeling for. Now, personally, looking at the other beginner's guides I've done and characters I've been a little bit lukewarm on, it's generally hybrid characters, so I feel that it could just be a playstyle that doesn't do it for me. I do prefer my characters, if they're going to be melee, to be able to go toe to toe, so they need to be pure melee characters, or if they're going to be ranged, I like them to be glass cannon characters. And one, you have to be very careful about how you're playing, but with the right playstyle you can put out a real nice amount of damage. Now let me know in the comments below how you're getting on with Iron Man. Do you prefer melee range characters? Do you prefer a mixture? Do you feel the same way I do in regards to hybrid characters? And if you're enjoying the content, take the time to hit the like button, hit the share button, which is very important because YouTube's not recommending my content at the moment. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.